everybody, welcome to Kreets Football. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to be talking about something interesting happening in football right now. We are seeing so many teams across Europe and in the English Premier League becoming more and more effective at taking set pieces, and that includes long throws, corner kicks, free kicks, short throws. Many teams becoming more effective at it, and not just offensively, also defensively. We see them making decoy runs, so many bodies packed in the box 18 when there is a corner kick, and it's becoming more and more interesting. And there's so many criticism of set pieces in the media. Many people say it's not real football. Some people say that it should be counted as maybe half a goal. And even some people say that it's a menace. And I don't get it. This is a game where people must make long throws, where there's corner kicks. And if you're not going to be using it to your advantage, if you're not going to be using it to the best of your ability, then I don't get the point of it. What's the point of playing set pieces for the sake of playing it if you're not going to make the most use of it? And in this video, I want to really defend set pieces as it's becoming a really hot topic in football nowadays. Let's look at the Premier League. Teams like Brentford FC, they've built an entire competitive edge around set pieces. And this is so important. They analyze the weakness of the opponent. They analyze what they can do better, crowding the box 18, creating blocking schemes. They attack specific zones. And guess what? It's working for them. Brentford sits high in the Premier League table just because they have become effective at set pieces. Because set pieces are a part of football, for goodness sake. They are a part of football. So why won't you use them to your advantage? It's the time when everybody quiets down, when you can really think, everything is stationary, you know what exactly you're doing, you can design plays. Why won't you use it to the best of your ability? The smartest teams in football today are making the most use of set pieces. So I don't get the criticism of set pieces. And of course, one team that's very good at it is Arsenal Football Club. We have seen them scoring so many goals from set pieces this season. 16 goals in the Premier League from set pieces. And a big reason why set pieces are working for Arsenal is because of the quality of delivery that comes into the box. Talk about players like Bukayo, Saka and Declan Rice whipping in quality balls into the box 18. It's not something that comes magically. It's something that you have to plan for. It's something that you have to train. And I don't get it. Why would there be criticism when players are doing this? And not just the quality of the crosses, it's also the ability of the players in the box being aggressive enough to take advantage of those balls. Players like Gabriel, players like Timber being aggressive, being explosive in the box, not just in their own box, but also in the opponent's box. And that's what makes the difference. They are not being just hopeful. They are not being just floated. But they are driven with pace and precision. They know exactly what they want to do. When the ball arrives in the box 18, they know what to do. Gabriel is an absolute monster in the air. Not just attacking corners, but also defending them. This is a guy that dominates in both boxes. What's the criticism about? As long as they go about their business legally, then what's the criticism about? It's all about time. It's all about power. It's all about aggression. And set pieces don't just happen randomly. They happen because there's a team that's earning them. You have to earn them. You don't just earn long throws. You don't just earn corner kicks. But it's because you are being purposeful. It's because you are attacking. It's because you are getting into dangerous position. That's the only way you get set pieces. And at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's up to your players to deliver those beautiful, wonderful crosses into the box 18 and for your players to take advantage of it. It does not come easy. So what's the criticism about? When you're playing set pieces, you have to win territories. Corners come from pressure. It comes from defenders making mistakes. It comes from midfielders being forced into mistakes. So when a team is constantly taking set pieces and getting set pieces, it's because they are doing something right. It's positive football. They are forcing the opposition. They are breaking them down. They are creating situations where there is panic. And they are punishing teams for it. It's not cheap. It's positive football. It's good football. I don't get it at all. In fact, these days I get irritated at teams that don't make the most use of their set pieces because they are a part of football. Why play set pieces if you will not make the most use of them? And I have a question for those that criticize set pieces, especially in England. If Bukayo Saka was to whip in those crosses and Declan Rice was to whip in those crosses for England in the World Cup, and England wins the World Cup by goals that matter through set pieces, would that be a complaint? Or would that be a credit to England and to those players? I need some answers. The criticism honestly feels very strange and bizarre because there's always been different ways to win football matches. It looks like there's an agenda against Arsenal or against set pieces or against teams that use set pieces generally. Because I don't get it. There's not one way that leads to Rome. There are multiple ways. There's never been a time when you always have to win football matches by one way. There are teams who dominate you physically. They overwhelm you physically. There are teams who counter attacks. There are teams that are tactical monsters. There are teams who all they do is dominate possession. That's their style. That's the way they win football matches. And there's never been one way. Set pieces are just another weapon in the toolbox that any smart team would use to change the momentum of the game, to get ahead in the game, to even win matches. What's wrong with that? And the other question I have is, if you have elite delivery makers like Saka or Rice, and you have monsters in the box like Gabriel, why won't you use that to your advantage? What's wrong in using that? Because it's the same logic like you have a world-class striker and you say, oh no, let's not put crosses into the box. Let's not get the ball to him. That's what it looks like. You have elite midfielders who can see through passes a mile ahead and you don't get the ball to them. That's what it means. They always have been part of the game and they always will be. So I don't get what's going on with all of this drama. Now let's talk about Arsenal's season so far. There's so much floating around. There's the narrative of if Arsenal win the league this year, they will be the worst team to ever do it. And honestly, it's the most bizarre thing I've heard in football in recent times. Because if you look at the numbers, if you look at the data, it speaks for itself. Let's take a look. Let's look at the most goals scored in the Premier League this season. Arsenal are tying with Manchester City at 59 goals, an average of 2 goals per match. Let's take a look at another metric, goals conceded per match. Arsenal are topping that chart. They've conceded the least goals per match this season with 22 goals conceded. Manchester City have conceded 27 goals and they are sitting in second. Let's take a look at another metric. Let's look at clean sheets. Arsenal have kept 14 clean sheets this season. Manchester City are second and they've kept 12 clean sheets this season. Let's take a look at expected goals. Expected goals, Arsenal are in the top 5. Let's take a look at XG difference. Arsenal are number 1. They have a goal difference of 37. Manchester City are second with 32 goal difference. So I don't get it. Shots on target per match. Arsenal are third in the league with 4.9 shots per match. What else do you want to look at? Let's take a look at big chances missed. Arsenal at number 2 with 56. Let's take a look at touches in opposition box. Arsenal are topping the chart with 999 touches in opposition box. XG conceded, Arsenal have the least XG conceded with 21.1. The next to them is 32.6, Manchester City. Possession won in the final third per match, Arsenal are tied with Brighton at 4.9. So I don't get the criticism, and I don't get how Arsenal are the worst team, will be the worst team ever to win the league if they do win the league. It's unbelievable. By almost every metric you look at in the Premier League, Arsenal are right at the top, or they are in the top 5, top 3. So what exactly is the issue? Elite attack, elite defense, elite chance creation, elite chance prevention. They've been one of the most balanced teams in Europe this season, and yet somehow the narrative is negative, which is very strange. And for years, critics have said Arsenal were too soft. Let's be sincere. They finished second in the Premier League in the last 3 seasons. They are too pretty. They can't handle the pressure of physical teams. They can't defend leads. They can't grind out wins. They are coming second 3 years in a row. And all of a sudden, they can break down low blocks now. They can deal with aggressive man-marking systems. They can protect a 1-goal lead. They can win ugly when necessary. And they've been ugly. Have you watched Arsenal matches? Nail-biting, dry, flat, impossible to watch matches. But they get the job done. That's why they are sitting on top of the league. Yet the narrative is negative. What's going on? They've learned how to win no matter what the opponent throws at them. And that's what leaders do. That's what champions do. So what exactly do they want from us now? And it's not just domestically. Let's take a look at their performance in the Champions League. They won all 8 games in the league phase. They only conceded 4 goals in between. And they are true to the last 16. Not just wins, but very commanding performance against elite teams like Inter Milan, like Bayern Munich, like Atletico Madrid, blowing them away. And they didn't just survive these games, they blew these teams apart, playing different tactics entirely in all of those matches. They are still in the 4 competitions. So again, the question is simple. What exactly do people want? When they are weak, they complain. Now they are strong, they are organized, they are ruthless, they are making it work for them, regardless of how ugly it is. Yet people still complain. Impossible. Just impossible. Now let's talk about the huge twist in the title race. Manchester City dropping points at home to Nottingham Forest. That match ended 2-2, and Arsenal going to Brighton and grinding out a result, getting all 3 points. That now puts Arsenal 7 points clear of Manchester City, with City having a game at hand. But with 8 matches left in the season, it looked like a pivotal moment. And to be frank, there are still many more matches to go. Arsenal have 5 home games and 3 away games, but it looks like it's a pivotal moment in the race. There's a long way still to go, and football changes very quickly. But Arsenal are now in a better position where they can now control their destiny. It's now in their hands, and the relegation battle continues at the other end of the table. Tottenham losing to Crystal Palace. What a match of football. The game turned on its head after Mickey van der Ven was sent off, and that defeat leaves Spurs 1 point above the relegation zone. Let that sink in. Spurs might be relegated. 1 point above relegation with 8 matches left. It's honestly very hard to imagine that a team like Tottenham Hotspur can be relegated, but it looks like it might happen if they don't tighten their seatbelt and get the job done. The pressure is building and the table doesn't lie. Whatever you see is what you get. So let me know what you think. Are set pieces and unfair criticism? Are Arsenal just being underrated this season? And do you think they can actually finish this job and get this one over the line and win the league? Also, is the unthinkable possible? Will Tottenham Hotspur be going down to the championship? Drop your thoughts in the comment, and I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and share this video, because the title race is getting hotter. There's drama at both ends of the table, and it's only getting started. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you again next time. Peace out.